So the Suns just got Nick Richards. The Charlotte Hornets recently traded their 7-foot center, Nick Richards, and a second-round pick to the Phoenix Suns in exchange for Josh Okogie and 3 second-round picks. This move is creating buzz, especially because it gives the Suns an upgrade at center during a season when Jusuf Nurkic is struggling. Let's break down why Richards could be a perfect fit for Phoenix and how he's performed this season. Richards is an exceptional athlete. Standing at 7 feet tall, he combines size, mobility, and efficiency in a way that stands out in today's NBA. This season, he's been averaging nearly 9 points, 7.5 rebounds, and over 1 assist per game, while shooting an impressive 56% from the field. Those stats alone are solid, but what really makes him intriguing is his ability to make the most of his minutes. For example, last season, Richards threw down 120 dunks, outpacing Nurkic and Mason Plumlee, who combined for 100 dunks in 1,000 more minutes. That's efficiency at its finest. What makes this trade exciting for Phoenix is how well Richards' game complements their stars, playing alongside Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. Richards can take advantage of the space they create. When those guys are double, Richards' athleticism and finishing ability make him an ideal target. In games where he's played between 20 and 30 minutes this season, he's averaged over 11 points, almost 10 rebounds, and nearly 2 blocks per game, with shooting splits of 61% from the field and 74% from the free throw line. That's consistency you can count on. One of Richards' most underrated skills is his ability to set effective screens. He's currently second in the league in screen assists per game with 5.1, trailing only Domantas Sabonis. Those screens generate 12.1 points per game, also second to Sabonis. This is huge for a team like the Suns, who rely heavily on their stars getting open looks. Richards' presence in this area could lead to even easier shots for Durant, Booker, and Beal, making their offense even more dangerous. Defensively, Richards brings value too. He ranks 5th in the league in contested rebound percentage this season at 54%, ahead of big names like Zion Williamson and Walker Kessler. That's no small feat. Contested rebounds are about effort, positioning, and timing, and Richards excels in all 3 areas. For a team like the Suns, who could use more toughness on the boards, this is a significant upgrade. Now, it hasn't been all smooth sailing for Richards this season. He suffered a rib injury in early November that kept him out indefinitely, and in the 15 games since returning, he hasn't quite looked like himself. His rhythm and consistency have been off, which isn't uncommon for players recovering from injuries. However, there's plenty of reason to believe he'll get back to his best as the season progresses. Health is everything in this league, and Richards has shown that when he's fully fit, he can be a game changer. In his 9 starts with the Hornets this season, Richards averaged over 11 points, 10 rebounds, and almost 2 blocks per game, shooting an incredible 61.7% from the field. These numbers highlight his potential when given a consistent role. It's clear that with the right opportunity, Richards can be a reliable contributor on both ends of the floor. That's exactly what Phoenix is banking on with this trade. By the way, if you guys enjoy these deep dives, I'll be posting every day during the season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, Richards. Comparing Richards to Josh Okogie, the player the Suns sent to Charlotte, is another way to understand this trade. Richards currently has a higher, helpful overall player score than Okogie, Mason Plumlee, and Jusuf Nurkic. While Okogie is a solid role player, Richards offers more upside, particularly in areas where the Suns need help. His ability to finish at the rim, protect the paint, and dominate the boards gives Phoenix a dynamic option at center that Okogie simply couldn't provide. This trade isn't just about individual talent, it's about fit. The Suns have a roster built around high-usage stars who need complementary pieces to succeed. Richards fits that mold perfect. He doesn't demand the ball, but knows how to be effective when he gets it. His finishing ability, combined with his screen setting and rebounding, fills gaps that Phoenix has been trying to address all season. Let's not forget how Richards compares to other centers around the league. Ranking second in both screen assists and points generated from screens is no small achievement. These aren't flashy stats, but they're the kind of numbers that win games. Richards' willingness to do the dirty work, setting hard screens, contesting rebounds, and protecting the rim makes him an invaluable asset on a team chasing a deep playoff run. This move also gives Richards a chance to shine on a bigger stage. Playing in Phoenix alongside stars like Durant and Booker will elevate his visibility and put him in positions to succeed. With defenses focused on stopping Phoenix's perimeter threats, Richards will have plenty of opportunities to make an impact in the paint. Whether it's finishing lob passes, grabbing offensive rebounds, or contesting shots at the rim, Richards has the tools to be a difference maker. The Suns are in a position to contend, and adding a player like Richards could be the boost they need. His ability to complement their stars while bringing effort and efficiency to the table is exactly what you want in a mid-season acquisition. While Nurkic has struggled, Richards provides a fresh alternative who can fill the gaps and elevate the team's overall performance. This trade has the potential to be a win-win. For Phoenix, it's a chance to add a productive, energetic center who fits their system. For Richards, it's an opportunity to prove himself on a contending team and show what he can do on a bigger stage. There's no question that he has the skills and work ethic to make an impact, and now he has the platform to do it. But for Richards, it's really when you dig into his advanced stats, you can tell how great the really is. Nick Richards has been putting up some sneaky good numbers this season. Let's dive into what's been making him such an interesting addition to the Suns. First, Richards is scoring 8.9 points per game. And while that might not sound like a jaw-dropper at first glance, here's the kicker. It's more than 58% of player. That's pretty solid for someone who's not even the primary scoring option on his previous team. Now, let's talk efficiency, because this is where things get exciting. Richards has an effective field goal percentage of 56.1%. Effective field goal percentage isn't just about how often a player makes their shots. It's about how well they make those shots. This number shows that Richards isn't just throwing up shots and hoping for the best. He's deliberate and calculated, turning those limited attempts into meaningful points. His points per field goal sit at 1.1, which means he's squeezing a lot of value out of every shot he takes. What about true shooting percentage? Well, Richards is rocking an impressive 61.1%, and that's better than 67% of players in the league. True shooting percentage takes into account field goals, free throws, and three-pointers, giving a comprehensive look at scoring efficiency. Richards excels in this area, showing that when he steps to the line or takes a shot, there's a high chance he's making the most of it. Points per scoring attempt? 1.2. That's a reflection of his ability to capitalize every time he's in a scoring position. His shooting breakdown is also intriguing. He's averaging 3.12 pointers made per game on 5.4 attempts. That's a solid conversion rate. And while he doesn't take threes at all, it works in his favor. Why? Because he knows his strengths and sticks to them. Richards isn't wasting possessions on shots that fall outside his comfort zone. Instead, he's dominating inside, doing the dirty work, and putting up points where they matter most. What makes this particularly exciting is how well these stats will complement stars like Durant, Booker, and Beal. Durant and Booker are elite scorers who can thrive in ISO situations or create off the dribble. Beal is another versatile offensive threat. What Richards brings to this mix is efficiency and balance. He doesn't need a high usage rate to make an impact. In fact, his ability to thrive with limited touches is going to take some pressure off those guys. Imagine having someone who doesn't demand the ball, yet can still convert at a high rate when needed. That's Richards in a nutshell. Another key factor here is his free throw rate. Richards is averaging 4.1 free throw attempts per game. This shows that he's not just standing around waiting for things to happen. He's active, aggressive, and drawing contact. Free throws might not be glamorous, but they're an essential part of scoring in today's NBA, and Richards is proving he can contribute there. Now think about the defensive attention Durant, Booker, and Beal are going to attract. Opposing teams are going to throw double teams and traps at them regularly. That leaves a guy like Richards in prime position to clean up around the basket, whether it's through putbacks, dump-off passes, or simply being in the right spot at the right time. His ability to stay efficient while playing off-ball is a perfect fit for a team with multiple high-usage superstars. It's also worth mentioning how Richards' efficiency will elevate the Suns' bench depth. Even if he's not a starter, his production off the bench is going to be a nightmare for opposing second units. Consistency and efficiency at his level can swing games, especially when the starters need rest. He's not a liability. He's a weapon that can extend leads or keep games close when the stars are on the bench. Another underrated part of Richards' game is his basketball IQ. His shot selection is no accident. It takes a certain level of awareness to recognize what works and stick to it. That's not something every player can do. Too often, you see guys trying to expand their game in ways that hurt their efficiency. Richards, he's locked in on what makes him effective, and he executes it with precision. Durant, Booker, and Beal are going to appreciate a teammate like this. They don't have to worry about Richards taking bad shots or stepping outside his role. Instead, They can trust him to convert when the opportunity arises. That trust is going to build chemistry, which is crucial for any team with championship aspiration. When you look at these numbers collectively, it's clear that Richards' scoring efficiency isn't just good, it's elite. More than 58% of players don't score as many points as he does. More than 67% don't match his true shooting percentage, and more than 79% don't match his effective field goal percentage. Those are some serious benchmarks he's setting. The Suns didn't bring Richards in to be a star, and that's the beauty of it. He's not trying to outshine anyone. Instead, he's the kind of player who makes everyone around him better by excelling in his role. That's exactly the type of piece you need on a team with championship potential. Richards has been overlooked for much of his career, but this season, the numbers don't lie. His scoring stats are advanced for a reason. He's efficient, consistent, and knows how to play to his strength. With Durant, Booker, and Beal drawing the spotlight, Richards is set to thrive in a role that maximizes what he does best. The Suns might have found the perfect complementary player to round out their roster. But then we can look at his defense. Nick Richards has been quietly anchoring his team's defense with some impressive numbers this season. Let's break down why his defensive stats make him a great fit next to Durant, Booker, and Beal on the Suns. First, Richards ranks better than 54% of players in mixed team defense. This metric is critical because it evaluates not just individual defense, but also how much a player contributes to overall team defensive performance. Richards clearly knows how to disrupt opponents and keep them from getting easy buckets, both as an individual defender and within the team system. His shot blocking is one of the first things that jumps out. Averaging 1.2 blocks per game, Richards is a legitimate deterrent around the rim. It's not just about swatting shots. It's about making players think twice before driving inside. That kind of presence is invaluable when you've got scorers like Durant, Booker, and Beal on the roster. With those guys lighting it up on offense, Richards' ability to clean up defensively ensures the team doesn't lose ground on the other end. Richards also pulls down 5.1 defensive rebounds per game. Defensive rebounding is often underrated, but it's a key part of shutting teams down. Once the opponent misses, securing the rebound ends the possession and gets the ball back into the hands of the offense. Richards' rebounding numbers show he's not just protecting the rim, he's making sure the team can transition quickly and efficiently after a defensive stop. One of the most interesting stats is his team's defensive efficiency, sitting at 117.5. While that number might sound high, it reflects the overall defensive performance of the team when Richards is on the court. It's not just about what he does individually, it's about how his presence impacts the entire defensive unit. His ability to rotate, contest shots, and stay active helps create a cohesive defense that can hold its own against top offenses. Let's not overlook his steals either. Richards averages 0.3 steals per game. While that might seem modest, it speaks to his ability to read passing lanes and anticipate plays. He's not a flashy defender who gambles too much, but when the opportunity is there, he knows how to capitalize. What makes all of this even more exciting is how it fits alongside Durant, Booker, and Beal. Those three are offensive juggernauts, but they'll need someone to anchor the defense and handle the dirty work. Richards does exactly that. His rim protection and rebounding are going to free up Durant to focus more on scoring and less on having to play heavy minutes as a small ball five. Meanwhile, Booker and Beal can take more risks on offense, knowing Richards has their backs defensively. Another key factor is Richards' discipline. His defensive numbers show a player who's active but not reckless. He contests shots without fouling too often, which is crucial for maintaining defensive integrity. Durant, Booker, and Beal can all score in bunches, but if the team is constantly giving up free throws on the other end, it negates that offensive firepower. Richards helps keep things balanced. Richards' mixed team defense ranking also highlights his adaptability. He's not just a rim protector, he's effective in multiple defensive schemes. Whether it's dropping back in pick and roll coverage, switching on to smaller players, or contesting shots in the paint, Richards can handle a variety of defensive responsibility. That versatility is going to be a game changer for a Suns team that's looking to make a deep playoff run. Defensive rebounding is another area where Richards shines. Pulling down 5.1 defensive boards per game means he's actively ending possessions for the opposing team. That's huge For a team like the Suns, who thrive in transition, every rebound Richards secures is another opportunity for Durant, Booker, and Beal to push the pace and get easy buckets. His rebounding numbers aren't just good, they're impactful. Richards' presence also helps create a psychological edge. Opponents know they'll have to contend with his shot, blocking, and rebounding every time they attack the paint. That kind of consistent defensive effort wears teams down over the course of a game. And for a Suns squad loaded with offensive firepower, having a defender who can grind down the other team's confidence is invaluable. One thing I love about Richards' game is how efficient he is on defense. He's not out there chasing stats. He's playing within the system and making the most of his minutes. That kind of self-awareness and team-first mentality is rare, especially in a player who's still developing his role. It's clear that Richards knows exactly what the Suns need from him, and he's ready to deliver. When you look at the numbers as a whole, Richards' defensive stats tell the story of a player who's primed to make a big impact on a team with championship aspirations. His shot blocking, rebounding, and overall defensive efficiency are going to elevate the Suns on that end of the floor. With Durant, Booker, and Beal handling the scoring, Richards' defense could be the glue that holds everything together. But where he really shines is on the boards. Richards is averaging 7.5 rebounds per game this season, which is better than 94% of players in the league. That's an incredibly strong figure, especially for a player who hasn't always been in the spotlight. Rebounding isn't just a skill for Richards, it's his bread and butter, whether it's fighting for position on the defensive end or sneaking in for second chance opportunities. Offensively, Richards knows how to make his presence felt. On the offensive boards, Richards has been a standout. He's pulling in 2.4 offensive rebounds per game, which places him ahead of 91% of players. That's no small accomplishment. Offensive rebounds are often the difference makers in tight games. Every time Richards grabs one, he's giving his team another possession. And when you're playing alongside scorers like Durant, Booker, and Beal, those extra chances are pure gold. His offensive rebound percentage of 10.54% is even more impressive. This means that while Richards is on the floor, he's grabbing more than 10% of all available offensive rebounds. That level of production is rare and speaks to his effort, awareness, and physicality in the paint. Defensively, Richards is just as dominant. He's averaging 5.1 defensive rebounds per game, which puts him ahead of 93% of players in the league. Defensive rebounds are critical because they end possessions for the other team. Richards' ability to secure the ball on the defensive end ensures that opponents don't get easy second chance opportunity. His defensive rebound percentage of 22.86% shows just how impactful he is in this area. This stat measures the percentage of available defensive rebounds he grabs while on the court, and Richards' number ranks among the best in the league. What makes Richards' rebounding so valuable is how seamlessly it fits into the Suns system. Durant, Booker, and Beal are high-volume scorers who thrive with the ball in their hands. Richards doesn't need to take shots or score points to make a difference. Instead, his role is to secure possessions and give the team a reliable presence on the boards. Whether it's cleaning up misses or starting fast breaks with quick outlet passes, Richards is going to provide exactly what the Suns need to complement their star-studded line. Let's dive a little deeper into his offensive rebounding. Pulling in 2.4 offensive rebounds per game might not seem like a lot on paper, but those numbers add up fast. Every offensive rebound means an extra possession for the team, and every extra possession increases the chances of putting points on the board. For a team loaded with offensive talent, that's a game changer. Richards has a knack for reading the ball off the rim, positioning himself perfectly, and battling through traffic to grab the board. His timing and instincts in this area are second to none, and that's why he ranks so highly among his peers. Defensive rebounding is just as critical, and Richards is a force to be reckoned with on that end too. Grabbing 5.1 defensive rebounds per game means Richards is consistently shutting down possessions for the opposing team. Defensive rebounding might not get as much attention as scoring or flashy blocks, but it's a cornerstone of any successful team. Richards' ability to secure the ball ensures that opponents don't get second chance opportunities, which can be demoralizing for an offense. His presence on the boards sets the tone for the team's defense, giving them a chance to reset and get back into their offensive flow. Another thing that stands out about Richards is his consistency. Rebounding is one of those areas where effort and focus make all the difference, and Richards brings both every single game. He's not taking plays off or relying on his teammates to do the dirty work. Instead, he's constantly hustling, fighting for position, and doing whatever it takes to secure the ball. That kind of effort is infectious and sets a standard for the rest of the team. Richards' rebounding also has a psychological impact on the game. Opponents know that when he's on the court, they're going to have to work that much harder to secure rebounds. His presence in the paint forces teams to think twice before attacking the rim, knowing that even if they miss, Richards is likely to clean up the mess. That kind of physical and mental pressure wears teams down over the course of a game and gives the Suns a significant advantage. One of the most exciting aspects of Richards' rebounding is how it translates to transition opportunities. Durant, Booker, and Beal are all exceptional in transition, and that phase of the game starts with a defensive rebound. Richards' ability to grab the ball and quickly get it to his teammates is going to create plenty of fast break chances. His rebounding isn't just about ending possessions, it's about igniting new ones on the other end of the floor. That quick turnaround can be devastating for opponents, especially when you've got three offensive juggernauts running the break. Richards also brings an element of physicality to the Suns that can't be overstated. Rebounding isn't just about being tall or athletic, it's about toughness, timing, and positioning. Richards excels in all of these areas. He knows how to carve out space in the paint, hold off defenders, and go up strong to secure the ball. That kind of grit is something every championship contender needs, and Richards provides it in spades. Another underrated aspect of Richards' game is his basketball IQ. Rebounding isn't just about effort, it's also about understanding the game. Richards knows where to position himself, how to read the ball off the rim, and when to time his jumps. Those instincts don't just happen. They're the result of hours of practice and a deep understanding of the game. That level of awareness is going to make him an even bigger asset for the Suns. Looking at the numbers collectively, Richards' rebounding stats are nothing short of phenomenal, averaging 7.5 rebounds per game while ranking better than 94% of players is a testament to his impact. His offensive rebound percentage of 10.54% and defensive rebound percentage of 22.86% highlight his ability to dominate on both ends of the floor. These aren't just good numbers, they're elite. Richards' rebounding isn't just a bonus for the Suns, it's a necessity. Durant, Booker, and Beal can handle the scoring, but they need someone to do the dirty work, secure possessions, and set the tone physically. Richards is that player. His rebounding numbers show a player who knows his role, excels in it, and makes everyone around him better. For a team with championship aspirations, that's exactly what you want. But lastly, I want to look at his usage stats. Nick Richards has quietly become one of the most efficient players on the floor, and his advanced usage stats this season prove it. His usage rate sits at 17.6%, which places him above 50% of players in the league. While that might seem modest compared to high usage stars, it's exactly what makes Richards so valuable. He thrives within his role, using his possessions effectively and contributing without dominating the ball. Richards is involved in 43.2 possessions per game, which is a solid number for a player in his role. What's impressive is how much he gets done with those possessions. He's taking 5.4 field goal attempts and 4.1 free throw attempts per game. That means nearly 10 possessions each game in with Richards taking a shot, and he's doing it efficiently. He's not wasting opportunities or forcing bad shots. He's finding ways to make an impact within the flow of the offense. His assist numbers might not jump off the page at 1.3 per game, but they highlight his willingness to move the ball and keep the offense fluid. Richards knows his role isn't to rack up assists, it's to contribute in a way that complements his teammates. And with Durant, Booker, and Beal on the court, his ability to make the right pass at the right time is going to be invaluable. Turnovers are another key area where Richards shines. Averaging just 1.6 turnovers per game is impressive for someone involved in 43.2 possessions. It shows he's careful with the ball and doesn't make reckless decisions. This kind of discipline is going to be crucial on a team like the Suns, where every possession counts. One of the most exciting things about Richards' usage stats is how they reflect his adaptability. He's not the focal point of the offense, and he doesn't need to be. Instead, he thrives in a complementary role, using his touches to make the team better. This kind of self-awareness is rare in today's game and makes Richards the perfect fit alongside high-usage stars like Durant, Booker, and Beal. Richards' usage rate also highlights his efficiency. At 17.6%, He's involved in a significant number of offensive plays, but he's not overstepping his bounds. He's making the most of his opportunities without taking away from his teammate. This balance is what separates him from other role players and makes him such a valuable asset for the Suns. Another important factor is how Richards' usage rate impacts the team's overall chemistry. Durant, Booker, and Beal are all used to having the ball in their hands, and adding another high-usage player could disrupt the flow of the offense. But with Richards, that's not a concern. He knows how to pick his spots and contribute without needing the ball constantly. This ability to fit seamlessly into the offense is going to help the Suns maintain their rhythm and maximize their scoring potential. Richards' ability to get to the free throw line is another key aspect of his game. 4.1 free throw attempts per game might not sound like a lot, but it shows he's active and aggressive when he does have the ball. Free throws are one of the most efficient ways to score, and Richards' willingness to attack and draw fouls is going to add another dimension to the Suns' offense. His low turnover rate also means the Suns can trust him in high-pressure situations. In tight games, every possession matters, and having a player like Richards who takes care of the ball is a huge advantage. His ability to play within himself and avoid costly mistakes is exactly what you want from a complementary player on a championship caliber team. What's fascinating about Richards' usage stats is how they reflect his basketball IQ. He's not just going through the motions, he's making smart decisions every time he's involved in a play. Whether it's taking a high percentage shot, making the extra pass, or drawing a foul, Richards knows how to maximize his impact without trying to do too much. That level of awareness is rare and shows why he's such a valuable player. Richards' ability to contribute without dominating the ball also makes him a perfect fit for the Suns system. Durant, Booker, and Beal are going to attract a ton of defensive attention, and Richards' willingness to play within his role is going to create opportunities for everyone. His efficiency and low usage rate mean he's not taking anything away from the team's stars. Instead, he's enhancing their ability to succeed. When you look at the numbers as a whole, Richards' advanced usage stats paint a picture of a player who knows exactly what his team needs from him. His 17.6% usage rate, 43.2 possessions per game, and low turnover numbers all point to a player who excels at doing the little things that make a big difference. He's not trying to be the star, he's trying to help the team win, and that's exactly what the Suns need. Richards' ability to make an impact without demanding the ball is going to be a game changer for the Suns. His usage stats show a player who's efficient, disciplined, and focused on contributing in the right ways. With Durant, Booker, and Beal leading the charge, Richards is the perfect piece to round out this team and help them reach their full potential. Overall, though, Nick Richards is poised to be a crucial piece for the Suns, offering exactly what they need to elevate their game. His advanced stats highlight his ability to contribute efficiently without overshadowing stars like Durant, Booker, and Beal. Whether it's his elite rebounding, low turnover rate, or smart usage of possessions, Richards brings a level of reliability that championship teams rely on. He doesn't demand the ball, yet he consistently finds ways to make an impact. Defensively, Richards will anchor the paint and clean up missed shots, giving the Suns extra possessions and controlling the pace of the game. Offensively, his ability to crash the boards and convert second-chance opportunities adds another layer to their scoring potential. With his basketball IQ and willingness to stay within his role, he complements the team's high-usage stars perfectly. Richards' presence takes pressure off the Suns' core, allowing them to focus on creating and scoring while he handles the dirty work. As the Suns gear up for a deep playoff run, Richards' consistency and effort will be invaluable. He's not just filling a roster spot, he's a difference maker who enhances the team's chances of reaching their ultimate goal, an NBA champion. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll be posting every day during this season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.